Welcome back to my slide-in truck camper build series for another update. The biggest change I think in what I'm doing this week is that I've taken my brother's recommendation and got a pneumatic nail gun. My experience with nail guns or having seen them used in the past was mostly limited to cheap particle board furniture that was coming apart where the staples or nails were pulling out and not really holding, and so I've kind of been reluctant to go that direction. But I've been concerned that when I start putting all these panels up, uh, trying to bang on these big flimsy panels with a hammer is just not going to work, especially when I can't reach around behind them with a bucking bar. So I decided to see what I could do, and I settled on a nail slash staple capable gun from Harbor Freight. Nothing fancy, and at first I was concerned about how deep the head or the staple tops were penetrating. They were just going too deep, and I thought maybe I could adjust the depth that the plunger or ram was pushing the nails in or staples in, and turns out that's not how you adjust it, and the only option I really have is to reduce the air pressure. And so I did that, and the results were a little better, still not quite what I would like, but good enough. Like I said, I was approaching a point where I was going to need a different solution. And so I decided to do it, and I think overall I'm able to work with it. I use more staples than I would nails, and even though they do tear through more of the wood than I'd like them to, I think it's going to work well enough moving forward. And boy, it sure is a lot faster. So glad I made that move and would recommend it to anybody else. So from the beginning, with the bulkheads under the floor and now the internal walls, it's just making a bunch of these panels. And some of my earlier photos there showed how the 1x2s aren't always the same thickness, but basically I'm just working my way through it, fabricating these panels. I'm only doing one side for now so that I'll be able to put internal structures to mount drawers, slides, shelves, counters, whatever, before closing them up. So that's kind of my strategy so far. And so it's mostly been more of the same. This is the last video where this will be the primary activity. At the end of this video I start assembling the first. I'm doing it kind of in what I'm not sure if the name is a monolith. It's a structure that does one set of walls on one wing and then a separate on the other, and then I install them all at once. That way I can get nails in from the bottom of the panel. Since I have insulation under it, I can't go all the way from the outside in. So anyway, that's what you're seeing here, finishing up some of the last of these panels before putting them together. Here well, first I cut out a notch for the water tank up on the wing panel there, the floor. The floor is now on the side of the bench, and then I'm putting the back wall on and finally starting to assemble the whole thing. All of the panels are a little bit warped, and so as I'm putting them together, I'm using the factory edges of the plywood, trying to straighten the warps out of everything as much as possible. And I'm pretty pleased with the way that came out. I was actually a little bit pleasantly surprised, I guess would be the term, that it ended up being a little better. It's kind of tricky to put glue on two sides and then stick them in and hold everything together while getting it all fastened up, but it went together pretty well. And unfortunately my battery ran out just before I finished, and so that's kind of where I got stuck, and that's where I'm going to leave it for this week. But thanks for watching. Next week I'll be getting the second one done and actually getting them installed. So see you next update.